I think it was his chalk anyway.
It was, but because they use these circular blocks, they can roll all over the place and be like 3 yards away in no time.
Anyway, since that miss blue, Ali Carter has scored 268 points without reply. A measure of how this match has turned very dramatically his way. And now Mark Selby, who's not really had a sniff of the table since that error on the blue, he's got to regroup, summon the blood to win 2 frames in a row. We know he's more than capable of that. When you talk about resilience, it's hard to imagine there's been a more resilient player in the history of the game than Selby, but he's up against someone who's now flying, full of confidence, and that's a big mistake from Selby. Missing the thin edge of the red, crashing into them. What's the damage?
Plenty. How often do you see a mistake like that from Mark Selby? He's really feeling it at the moment. Has been. Since he missed that blue to the green pocket and Ali Carter stepped in to win the frame. Just stealing himself a one good pot here that would get him in good position to potentially win frame and match from here. This red to the centre pocket looks straightforward. I promise you it isn't. Well done. Played this simple positional shot to the pink, in spite of the fact he knows the pink will be tied up once it's potted.
Well, he said ahead of this tournament that he owed Mark Allen a drink for Allen's decision to withdraw from the tournament. I think it could be a case of champagne, the way things are going.
Well, there are plenty of loose reds dotted around, but you wouldn't really play for any of them, so I think Ali will probably want to go into the pack of reds from this next colour. But that's travelled a little too far. He's intimating with his cue that he suffered a fast bounce there. Maybe he was right. So I don't think he'd risk going into the pack of reds now. But if he cannons one of the 2 reds above the cue ball, he may be okay. You've just got to play the easiest shot that you can play. If he wants to go into the pack now, he'd have to play it with a lot of right hand side, which makes the pot risky.
Selby looking understandably concerned. He seemed to be bossing this match when he led 8-6. He'd won 4 out of 5 frames. And the resumption this evening looks set to make it 5 out of 6. But Carter not in prime position anymore. So a good shot required to keep the break going. Which he's played.
16.
Oh, that was a great pot. And he managed to dig into the cue ball to kill the pace of it to hold for a bulk colour. Now, they're a great pack of reds to go into from a bulk colour, so would he risk the green here? More angle on the green, easier to go into the reds from, but the pot is just slightly more difficult than the brown. These are all the decisions you have to make when you're under pressure. Decided instead to play for one of these reds into the corner pocket, and I think he's played a really good positional shot there. He can play for the black from this.
One.
Well, Ali can get a lot of reaction out the cue ball. He'll need all of that here if he does go into the pack of reds. They're not a great pack of reds to go into from the black, but if he can somehow dig into the... Oh, he's too straight. Do you know, these camera angles can really fox you sometimes. So he had no choice but to play for this loose red. Needs a better angle this time, though.
28.
And this time, he is absolutely perfectly on the black. But how will these reds open? If ever you needed a bit of luck, it's now.
Well, that's now over 300 points without reply from Carter. But is he on a red?
Well, maybe the one close to the pink, but that's not the one he'd like to be on because the cue ball's going into the reds from there, so he's got to hedge his bets here. Does he think he can play through the reds to play for the black, or does he need to trust to luck? And if so, he'll have to play it with a little bit more pace. He could play a delicate cannon into the reds to hold for the pink to the centre, but that could go wrong. If he plays a deep screw through the reds, there's a better chance of being on a colour, I feel, but does he fancy just holding for the pink?
$37.
Well, what a chance Carter has got now. 37 in front. Plenty of reds out in the open. This is a gilt-edged opportunity for another memorable victory.
44.
And what would be yet another four-frame burst, his third in a row. 5-2 down against Williams, 5-2 down against Xiao Guodong, 8-6 down to Mark Selby. This match is at his mercy.
You can't help but feel, can you, that he's somehow fated to win this event. Performances he's put in at the point of no return in his previous matches, as you've just said, Phil, needed to win 4 straight frames and he's managed it twice.
The blue that Selby missed when he was on the cusp of 9-6 certainly felt very significant at the moment, but Selby could not have imagined that he wouldn't pot another ball thereafter, but that is now a serious possibility.
$61.
75 left.
Well, it's brown or yellow, isn't it? You've got the red near the left corner, you've got the one above the pink. You're going to be on one of them.
$65.
So a red and any colour, and Ali Carter will be in the final. And a guaranteed £105,000, which he would not have envisaged earning just 2.5 weeks ago, before he got a text from Mark Allen saying, pack your bags, I'm pulling out. But much more importantly, from Carter's point of view, the chance to become a double Shanghai Masters champion. And how well has he played from the moment he touched down in China. It's not just the way that he's finished this match.
74.
It was the brilliant comebacks against Williams and Zhao Guodong from the brink of defeat. He's shown nerves of steel, and he's thoroughly deserved to win this match, because he's looked the stronger of the two when the pressure has been at its most intense. Big disappointment for Mark Selby, who was looking good at 8-6.
79.
He played brilliantly himself to beat Trump, and before that Murphy. But it's Ali Carter through to the Shanghai Masters final. What a performance, yet another comeback from the captain. He's making a career out of it here in Shanghai. For the third time in a row, he's turned around an unfavourable position, showing his steel when it matters most, and he can now look forward to Sunday's final. He'll have Saturday off, and he can watch Karen Wilson and Zhao Jintong go at it hammer and tongs. But in the meantime, it's Carter from 8-6 down with a 4-frame burst for the third time in a row, who's defeated Mark Selby by 10 frames to 8.